Muhami Matters with Chris Adams, powered by CJA Consulting.
All our little tools like a mobile receive every day an average of 2 or 3 illegal attacks to steal our contacts.
So you're saying that I've got a digital twin, is that it?
You have your digital twin, you have your digital identity that is part of your personality that you shape with all your navigation and has got no rights. There is a great German psychiatrist, Manfred Spitzer, that say children are afflicted by digital dementia. Digital dementia could not exist before. Homo sapiens exit from caves to rule the world, exit from caves to build houses for agriculture, to have better food. Now, since few years, we have digital revolution home delivery on our couch.
Hello, welcome to Muhami Matters, where credibility meets clarity in the world of legal and professional services. I'm your host, Chris Adams, and I'm very pleased to be joined by today's guest, Gianni Dell'Aiuto, an Italian lawyer whose mission is to make businesses everywhere, not just in Europe, understand the real cost of ignoring data protection. So from everything from GDPR, AI regulation, to something that Gianni calls digital trust, he challenges us to think about who we really are online and what happens when we give too much away. Thank you so much for joining us today, Gianni.
Thank you very much. Welcome from this warm welcome. Hi to everyone. Glad to be here, and I hope to say something interesting and not so boring and not talk too much legally. Otherwise, people could even sleep after a legal talk.
Yeah, we don't want to fall asleep today. Definitely not. And thank you for letting me, slightly mispronounce your name as well. So I need to work on my Italian.
You're welcome anyway.
So you were telling me before you're going out for pasta tonight, so you made me really, really jealous.
Well,
I want to be there. So, all right, well, let's go on to the more serious stuff then. So what about you tell us a little bit about your background, introduce yourself and how you came to specialize in data protection?
Well, I'm a lawyer, basically. I'm specialized in civil law, company, business, and contracts, and mostly since the matter of data protection and privacy arise as a very sensitive and important matter in the digital revolution era. I focus on this mostly to first assist companies and apply correctly European regulation, but mostly to protect people, because the humankind is touched by data. Data, which point is the most ever stolen product. All our little tools like a mobile receive every day an average of 2 or 3 illegal attacks to steal our contacts. And worse is happening for sure online. And I say to companies, guess what? If they try to steal data from your mobile, how many data do you have in your database in your company? Mostly if you process huge quantity of data. And I wish pointed that we are not aware the quantity of data that we process and we give online every day. Even you and me in this moment, we are giving to our system our biometric data, our faces, how we talk, how we smile, how we react, and everything can be profiled for our behaviors. And the people do not realize this sometimes. So that's why I get very sensitive on this. And I can say that along with my professional activity, I try to develop a collateral side of that, of education for people, for children, for school, for communities, to make them aware of what can happen online to us, because we are not talking just about my name online, but online there is my identity. There is everything about me, my past, and eventually even our future.
When we first started speaking, you said, be careful when you answer the phone. Never say the word YES, because people want to steal that. So every day, every moment, people are trying to take our data. Is that correct? Is that your view?
Absolutely, it's true. Data is the fuel, is the gasoline of internet, is the main fuel of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is something totally useless without data to process. Even when open a chat box of a hotel to explain I need a special bed or special food, I don't give just information to my hotel. I can write in my language, so they need to understand my language. And I give it not to the small hotel or even to a big chain. I give it to the company that is processing our request according our questions to pop an answer on the chat box. But who's on the back of this? They need a lot of data, and we give data for in all our navigations. It's basically normal, but we are not aware. We have and European rules like GDPR we have to see it from both sides, companies and people. Companies must protect the data, but this is a system even to make people aware of what we give to companies. I do not give just my address for a delivery to Amazon. I give my preference. I give a lot.
Yeah, when you start thinking about it, it's really, really frightening. Like you say, every moment, even talking today, someone could be listening to this and potentially cloning our voices and using it to impersonate us.
Something we do not think is that I use the example of the social platforms. When we join Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all the other platforms, it's not something for free. When Facebook arrived in Italy, on the screen, when you access for the first time, it was clearly stated, it's free, will be always free. An Italian court say, no, it's not free, because you pay with your data. And was a total lie from Facebook. Now it's totally different. And they have something like join your friends and do it forever. But it's a contract. All the access to platform, when we click for the last time, we say yes, it's a legally binding contract, and I accept your rules, your terms, your regulation, and everything. And it's clearly stated, me, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, how it's called now, and TikTok, we give to you a space, a virtual space. You can use it according our terms, our policy, our conditions, and you pay with your data, all your information, all your click, all your like, all your photo, all your post, and they state we will give this to give this to our best clients, partners, advertising, my friends, Uncle Joe and Auntie Anna, and so on, so they can make for you a better navigation experience. Well, for me, no, for them, first of all. Then I can be happy about what they decide I can see and I can scroll. But this is a binding agreement. So there are legal issues on this, and we accept their terms and conditions, so they can even push up out if we do not behave according to the rules. We accept it with a click without reading. I always point in my speech and articles I write that internet works because we are liars.
I was going to ask you about that. The very first time we met, you called me a liar.
Yes,
and I was like, what? Why is he calling me a liar? So explain why I'm a liar. Explain why everybody's a liar.
I have evidence that everyone is listening to us is a liar at least twice a day. When with your fingers you answer yes to the question, to accept, to navigate, to go on. But you answer yes to the question, did you read the terms and conditions of the navigations? So obviously you accept. Who reads? Come on, please, I want to see hands up who read every time terms and condition of navigation.
My hand is definitely not up.
Sometimes no problem. I can trust someone. But what if after say yes, you discover that the app to play a game or to watch some video is held by a company, I don't know, Russia, China, Nigeria, or United States or Mexico, and they say, we will give, you do not know who we are. You do not know where we are. And we will do with your data all what we want. We can sell even to Jack the Ripper and the Beagle Boys. What's the problem?
Yeah. We have no control. So you're based in Italy. You're based in Rome. We all know that GDPR applies throughout the EU. But what was also very interesting in our initial conversation was that you said actually GDPR is relevant everywhere. Tell us about that. Tell us why.
Well, GDPR and even Artificial Intelligence Act and even another one, NIS2, are general European rules that apply to all European citizens. It means that even if you are based in the United States, Emirates, Australia, or wherever, if you have something to do with the European citizen data, you must apply the law of Europe. Ask Facebook. Meta received a fine 1.3 billions for violation of GDPR. But even companies that are based in the United States and do not officially work in Europe receive fines. One company that was processing images, Clearview, I think is the name, if I don't any mistake, it was profiling faces of European citizens. They had totally from three of our agencies about 100 million euro fines. Another one, artificial intelligence company in United States, in California, that was making activity that was sold and used in Europe, 5 millions. And the matter is that you do not receive just one fine. You can receive fine from all countries of Europe because
That's a lot.
one is separate. Yes. You have received 3 fines. Okay, wait for 24 more. We are 27 states right now, and you can receive 27 fines.
We all know the EU is highly regulated as well, so they'd probably do it. They probably would come after you if they really, really wanted to.
Well, they need absolutely take care who they are using and who they are profiling. And I love to say to the companies that GDPR is not only an expensive law to apply, it's a system of security to have less data as possible, to manage as best as possible, to use like a catapulta, I love to say, because if you have the proper data and you use in the way that you declare and you promise to users, probably you can have better organization. I call it cybermetrica. It's a system companies can use. It's part of my work. But also is the best way to have digital trust and do not profile illegally clients and people, the users, the consumers. They must be respected. When I visit your web page, you know where I'm from. You have my ID navigation. You know what time I navigate, the pages I skip, the contents I watch, and so on. So you have all my identity. Can I trust you use it properly? Companies should say better use properly. Otherwise, I can be sued. I can receive fine. Can have a bad reputation. It's ethic in business, in online business.
So, yeah, it goes beyond law and into ethics. But I guess underneath it all is that ability to enforce, the ability for EU countries to come after companies or individuals outside of the EU that's, probably something we don't all think about.
For sure. They start enforce with fines, but your activity could be banned in Europe eventually.
Yeah.
You can, or what's happening sometimes when we have some kind of violation, local agencies can enforce every company to send a formal personal letter to every single client and say, your data were stolen. I didn't process your data properly. I sold to this and him. So it's not nice if you have to send a letter to all your clients to say that you did a mistake about their identity, their personality. Not really. Mostly if sometimes you touch children.
Oh yeah, well that is obviously a massive risk. You can't. Yeah, you're right, because you can't control who your audience is. If something's out on the internet, anyone can access it, no matter what age, gender, whatever. So
Yes.
yeah, this gets more and more interesting by the moment, and more sort of intimidating, or something we all need to consider. Can you give us an example of someone who thought GDPR didn't apply to them, but it did?
Someone that didn't apply. Just ChatGPT was blocked in Italy for a few months to do not apply GDPR for data processing about children. Even Marriott Hotel had a huge fines to do not protect properly GDPR, according GDPR, data of European citizens. Companies can be blocked. When was enforced GDPR at the beginning, about 2018, even some USA newspaper, I remember Los Angeles Times, was not clearly readable because they didn't apply law properly. Even if you give information, you collect data, because I'm not reading. I won't point again. In the moment that I visit your web page with cookies, you can collect information about me, even behavioral. It's not important to know my name. You know that you can, and cross information can help to who guess who's in the back is possible. Like crossing information, we have behavioral information. That's it. Because what I want to say is that we are another person online, and we have our digital virtual twin online. Through all our information, through all our click, through all our navigation, we build our twin that is online. Is a digital identity, virtual identity. This is our avatar that is online, staying there. And when I say something like search for a new shirt or a new book, an input and an algorithm say to my avatar, go on this page or go on that page. But I cannot decide. My twin cannot decide where to go. It's someone else saying, go on this page or on this other one. And it's not on the best for us, basically. It's based on how much company pays for to be the first one on the research on Google or on the platform.
So you're saying that I've got a digital twin? Is that it?
Yes, you have your digital twin, you have your digital identity that is part of your personality that you shape with all your navigation and has got no rights. Is already under study even by university and law issues. Even the matter who will inherit my twin. His personality has got an important economic value because it's the value determined by companies. When we start navigating, we search something on Google, is the moment that we became the best prize and best award for some companies. If I want to buy something and I digit this, companies can know what I want that I will probably buy. So they want to be the first one in line to offer me this. We'll have to say that the best place to hide the body when you kill someone is the second page of the research on Google.
Really?
Who goes on the second page or on the third? How many offers we receive every day from companies based everywhere? If you want to be the first one on Google, I can do it.
So many. So many.
But let me tell you, talking about Google, that we have not just a second identity. We are free.
3.
Yes, you are free. You are here a physical person with me and we have rights. You have the right to close a deal, to get married, to have a walk, to have a lunch, to be vegetarian or vegan or whatever you want. And you can enforce your rights. Second is the digital identity. You have no rights on it. Your twin has got no rights. And the third one, even if you do not want, is the hero and the main character of digital revolution, is us with mobile in hand. Don't tell me we are the same person, because we are totally different. We act and think according mobile. We act and think in a different way. And we have disease that didn't exist at Homo sapiens.
Right.
Because, yes, we have a real disease. Phobia to be disconnected, nomophobia, and Snapchat dysmorphy, behavior disturbs, and eating problems. We have in children. There is a great German psychiatrist Manfred Spitzer, that say children are afflicted by digital dementia. Digital dementia could not exist before. The phenomenon of hikikomori is increasing. There is a great German psychiatrist Manfred Spitzer, that say children are afflicted by digital dementia. Digital dementia could not exist before. The phenomenon of hikikomori is increasing.
I'm gonna Google this. He has a name.
Yes, because I ask you, but even I ask to who's with us that is not annoyed yet, the effects of mobile. When I ask, tell me the telephone number of your 5 best friends and 5 best clients without watch mobile.
Well, yeah, I might be able to tell you names, but I definitely couldn't tell you their email addresses or their phone numbers.
Everything is in your mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is here. We have delegated to mobile a lot of our life, everything of our life. So while from the side of the people we should be more aware of what we are doing, what we are delegating, what we ask, the secrets we give to companies online. From the other side, companies should start thinking, what do I have in my hands and in my files? GDPR is the system to say both, mostly companies, you have identity of people. You have huge information, much more than a secret services. People gave up their privacy. They gave up everything. You have everything. Please use properly. When I navigate your website, I just want to navigate. You cannot tell me in a pop, if you want to watch here, if you want to go ahead, you must subscribe my newsletter and my policy and let me share with everybody. That's respect. And if I buy from you something, it doesn't mean I want your newsletter every day. I do not want to be cold call or cold emails every day. In dark web and deep web, you can buy thousands, millions of address and telephone number to offer your services. Why? They have it for this.
We're just giving it to them. All of us are just giving it to them. Or
yes,
one of the three, or two of the three, or all three of the personalities are giving it to them.
Yes. That some loyalty programs, when we buy food, in the small card we receive, and every day we pass to have a discount of some cents. They know the day that I buy wine or meat, the day that my fridge is empty, if I have pets, if I buy food for children, and so on. So it's a place where there is no privacy, there is no confidentiality. We think, I have nothing to hide. Yes, sure, you have nothing to hide. I believe you. But are you sure, are you happy that companies profile you? Are you sure they use your digital identity and you have no problems? Well, better to think on this. I'm sure even this, if you want evidence, open just a newspaper on mobile and do it close with a friend. Open the same newspaper. Advertising, you see, they are different. I can bet it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I know that I was having a conversation with somebody the other day trying to remember the name of an AI tool that kept getting advertised to me on Instagram. And I said to her, while we're on the call, I bet you if I open this now, if I open my Instagram now and I'll scroll through, it'll be there in the first 5 posts. It was there at number 3. The exact app that I was talking to her about, I couldn't remember the name, and there it was. It was like organic post, ad, and that was the one. Now, I don't think it was listening to me. Instagram was listening to me, or my phone was listening, although it could be. But it definitely knew that I had looked at it multiple times, that, you know, I don't know which personality this is, number 2 or number 3, but it knew about me. It knew that I probably was going to talk about it, and it served it right up to me. So it's quite scary.
That's it. But it's not only Instagram. It's probably because a few years ago you accepted, you download an app to play maybe when you are on a train or waiting online somewhere, or the post office or the bank. And this app to play cards or whatever, you say yes. Can I hear your conversation and share with my partners? And probably you downloaded it 10 years ago and you still keep it. Now think if your child does it. Children, they do not read, they do not care, they play. They think you are the master of TikTok, but TikTok is a master. I'm scared sometimes when I read and scare really like Orwell situation that say the future will be, humanity will be divided in 2 parts. Who will decide algorithms, and the other that will pass time just scrolling what is decided by somebody else.
Well, we're probably not far off that, are we? I mean, you can definitely see it going that way.
It's going in that way. At least until we are not aware of what we give to internet, we are going in that direction. It's scary. I agree with you. We need our awareness. We need to know what we are doing online, what we give online. So homo Googles must be under control. There are even something else terrible is effect. There is effect Flynn. Effect Flynn is something that happened to people from the beginning of last century, early years of 19, that QI increased every year, everywhere in the world. People were getting more and more intelligent, despite health situation, despite food, despite education. QI was increasing every year for all the century, even despite wars. And now we have reverse Flynn effect that QI is decreasing.
Really?
And what a strange coincidence. It began with internet and social. It's a strange coincidence, but worldwide the QI is decreasing.
So we're getting stupider. Our IQ is going down. It's getting worse, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're probably right. It's not a coincidence. It's where we're relying on devices. We're relying on things that are fed to us and pushed to us rather than us getting curious.
Yes, it's something that happened when Homo sapiens exit from caves to rule the world, exit from caves to build houses for agriculture, to have better food. Probably everything was not okay, but everything was built after Homo sapiens decided to say, I rule the world, because he was out, he was facing life. Now, since few years, we have digital revolution, home delivery on our couch. I appreciate this because without internet 100%, we were not here from 2 different sides of the world.
Yeah.
That's absolutely positive. But what about living 24 hours a day home and talk with artificial intelligence, have everything home, work from home? How many people live in that way? Even in many activities we see this. Sometimes I talk with a friend, he's pediatric, work in a pediatric division of a hospital. I say, I have children 8 years old that they will never be professional swimmers because they will never do properly this, but only this.
Huh.
And in the United States, main social platforms already had legal litigation. They were suing courts, and we are waiting for sentences to state that algorithms are a sort of addiction system. Algorithms are made to addict. when you spend time on mobile and you watch a video you like, 100% you will receive always that kind of video staying with you to make you more addicted and spend more times.
Yeah, so companies can obviously pay for that as advertisers, or as, I don't even know if you call them advertisers, if they're just constantly pushing it to you. And I guess the higher you bid, the more exposure you get, the more data you've got access to, and the better the algorithms, and the better chance you have of reaching your target market. So obviously that's a tool I want to use with the people I work with. You want to be able to use that, but there is obviously that moral and that legal responsibility to make sure you do it sensibly and correctly, I suppose.
Yes, the first step is application of GDPR. And GDPR is not only to have a proper privacy disclaimer on your website, but is to apply. It's just a picture you put on the wall and say that's it. It means I will tell you in advance what I do with your data. I will tell you in advance how I will use. I promise I will not share unless you allow me to share. I keep it confidential, and not even my employee can use. What's happened once, but I'm sure it's happened everywhere. A girl bought something from Amazon. Amazon sent and was used, of course, a local delivery guy. The local delivery guy, after delivery, the day after, telephone, hey, I saw you are a very beautiful girl. Can we date?
Oh.
This girl gave telephone number to Amazon just to have a delivery.
Yeah.
Amazon should say to their staff and suppliers and all the chain, I give you this telephone number just for this. You cannot allow your people telephone girls harassing, or even if she's happy. I give you have my telephone number for this, not for another purpose. If I ask you, as I stated, if I buy something from you, I just want to buy something. It doesn't mean I accept your newsletter or your daily offer in my mailbox. And I should be free to say I do not want anymore. While a lot of companies, mostly from China, from India, from Russia, they send email every day. You hardly can erase your address, and your address is forever online.
Absolutely. I'm just thinking, as you're talking, I'm thinking about all the examples of the emails I'm receiving just as we're talking now in the background, the WhatsApps, and they're not, I mean, at some point I've probably consented in some way. So it brings me to ask the question, at what point does the company's responsibility end to say, I've given you, enough notice, I've given you enough notification and information to say, this is what I want to do with your data, and
yes.
at what point does the person, the individual, or the company then have to take responsibility and say, okay, I've signed up for this?
Totally. There is another system I saw is on LinkedIn mostly, or on Instagram. For sure, you scroll and you see something you are interested in, and they say, do you want this white paper for free? Wow, for sure, I can know more about you. Then to have it, I must say the name of my company. Business mail, because they do not accept Gmail or Google Mail, Gmail or Hotmail,
yep.
Or Yahoo Mail. Then they ask me, what's your position in company? How many employees? Where are you based? Now you have my white paper for free. It's not for free. It's not for free. They use my being homo googlis and say yes, 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 because now I'm happy to say yes. I don't care about what you do because I do not think, I'm not aware. And they say, okay, now I have the name of the company, his position, number of employees, and I have all business mail to send our information. And when you try to make unsubscribe, I saw many from United States, it's not possible unsubscribe.
Yeah, or it's too late. It's too late. You've already given the information away, so the unsubscribe just means you're not going to get the mails anymore, but that doesn't matter. You've already given your information away. So at what point does that become my responsibility or your responsibility as the user versus the company? Companies obviously have obligations under GDPR and other data protection.
Yes.
They've got moral responsibilities. But at what point does it kind of become the individual's responsibility to say, okay, I don't want to give away this information. Like they've given me enough warning. They've put in their terms and conditions. You know, at what point does it become the user's responsibility to not give away that data and put a stop to it?
Well, it's huge responsibility because it means you cannot navigate anymore, mostly. According to GDPR, users has got rights, and one of the rights is to be erased and to be totally forgiven by the company. If I say, don't use my data anymore, according to GDPR, you must send me an evidence you have erased my data and you will not use it anymore. Responsibility is something that we should learn, but we had a mobile in hand that is like a weapon without instructions. And with weapon, I don't know who's on the other side. Maybe eventually, who knows if I'm real? Maybe I'm a woman and I put a mask here. So it's a double-sided matter. Companies must use data in a proper way. Otherwise, according to GDPR and eventually some local laws, I know in California and Utah they have some regulations. Some other countries will go in this direction. Or companies can have a lot of power, a lot of control. From the other side, we took digital revolution thinking it was free and without any danger, and living on couch to have Chinese or Australian food delivery and have everything, but we are not aware that we are paying a huge price. Being responsible means sometimes thinking what I'm doing with my data. There is a terrible crime online committed with the great help of mom and dad, mostly mom, because in the moment when they say, today is born my little baby, my little Mary or John, someone else on the other side is aware of name, family name, birthday, name of parents. In Italy, we have a fiscal code. Maybe you have a security or social number, previdence, you can guess. And they follow these unlucky young children until they have the right age to have social profile. So it's called digital kidnapping.
Really?
Is not theft of identity. Theft of identity is just to empty your bank account.
Yeah.
Digital kidnapping means take the life and all information of a child, follow him with the photo pics and information that mom and dad share. They share without thinking, wow, let me laugh about my child do not eating broccoli or crying. Is parent shaming, something like that, shaming thing. Yes, it's quite common on TikTok. And then this little child, when he will be 14 or 15, will have a profile that can do everything, even sell for polls or who will win next show for something, who will win the Great Brother program or something like that. But even for something worse, because you do not think sometimes you put even your ID, documents, papers. Now in Italy, we are facing huge problems with hotels without strong protection. In Italy, it's mandatory when you arrive in a hotel to give your document, and they have to send to local authorities. A lot of passports stolen in Italy. So now, passport or ID can be used for everything, maybe even to open a bank account.
Absolutely,
or ask
yes.
a mortgage on your behalf.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely used as a primary form of identification and verification of ID. So, yeah, as I say, I'm thinking when you gave the example of the children, so, you know, when I take my children to an entertainment center, a soft play center, or something like that, you know, you have to sign the parent consent form to say, you know, I'm happy to take on the risk of my child playing in here and it's dangerous. And that. You always have to include their full name, their date of birth, your mobile number, all that. And that if you don't fill it out electronically, it doesn't matter if you fill it out by hand, it still gets uploaded to a system because they then start contacting you, right? So I see what you're saying about, my children, since they've been young, will have been forming up that identity online on other systems that can be used to make a picture of them and a profile of them, a homo googlius, I guess, that,
Yes,
without them
absolutely.
even wanting to give it away and without me wanting to give it away.
And now we have even artificial intelligence. Sometimes I have fun to ask artificial intelligence, make my face like a Roman emperor or gladiator or a queen or a king or a general. What someone not really nice can do with artificial intelligence and all your information. Deep fake are a dangerous, terrible video already online, can use for blackmail, can be used for everything. It's not nice. We
not
need
nice.
awareness and companies aware of what they have in their hands.
I think I feel like I need to take your consent to use your image today, Gianni, when we publish this podcast, because it's going on YouTube, it's going on online. So, can I have your
Well,
consent?
Fine. But I hope even some companies decide to think about it to have the proper policy,
Yeah.
to have a proper system and of their digital trust, and they can say to their clients, "You can trust me. I will not use not simply your data, but I will not use your identity, your personality, yourself for my business. I will just respect you and use for the purposes you asked me."
So, yeah, that brings us to a very interesting point. What do companies need to do? So, I think what you've just said there is almost a voluntary or moral obligation to do that, to be responsible. But there are obviously GDPR and other local regulations do prescribe what you do need to do. So, tell us
Yes.
more from both those perspectives.
Well, I state again, not only if you are based in Europe, you need the GDPR. You need GDPR to be ethic for moral duties. GDPR start with, and is useful to, you can know your company, what data you need, how you store, how you process, and who touch data in the company. So, needs to have even a better organization, means to use data if you have in the proper way to improve your activity, to train in your staff, means to have saved files. GDPR is not only a password or antivirus. GDPR is papers and instructions. How many people work in your company? How many people know data of your clients? How many people can use improperly or sell? There is another, not a joke, that is on email. When you receive an email with not with all your address in white, I know that you are sending to me some invitation or some mail. Along with 1,000 people, I can read the name and email. What if one of them say, "Thank you very much," and says, "Answer to everybody, reply to all"?
And people do
It's
that.
happening. It's happened, and I start to receive, everybody start to receive millions of emails to say, unsubscribe, and I know everybody of your mailing list. That's part of education in the company, to be very careful. It's a violation of privacy. You told to all your clients and friends my email, while I gave just to you just for this purpose, just for one reason. This something can happen. I can tell you a case that happened in Italy. A man was working from home for a health public company, health agency, was working from home, and someone hijacked his computer, went in the system of the agency of health, regional agency of Lazio, and through the national system. So the man was fired because data were not protected in that moment. Even the was fined even the local agency, but even the provider of the system, because he didn't think that someone working from home can use a not protected Wi-Fi. Imagine many companies, they have work from remote.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And bring your own device and that sort of thing.
Is a company device or private device? Is it used only for company reasons or used by all the family of the employee? Is using from home or from some bar on a beach drinking a cocktail in a moment? So in this moment, Wi-Fi is a duty of the company. Data protection is even this one, thinking all the possible risk, all the possible danger. And you cannot say, my system has got a firewall. Well, sure, from your offices, from your safe system. But what about if your employees are working from somewhere, or to say, I've closed a great deal, a great contract, and they they catch the moment. All your system is in danger. That's part of GDPR. GDPR doesn't say you must do this, this, and this. They say you must protect the data of people, of your clients, employees, and everyone in the best possible way according your size, according your revenue, according what data you use. For sure, a local shop is not required to do the same of Facebook and TikTok.
Okay, so it's quite flexible, quite fluid in its rules.
Totally, 100%. But please be aware, I saw a little shop that use a privacy disclaimer from an airline company. I asked, why you use this one? It's so big. Say, it's big, so there is everything. Yes, included personal needs for food and allergies and intolerance to food. You do not need. Maybe you need just half a paper. Maybe you need just something small. So it's a suite. Is a tailored suite I can build on every company, working together with IT, because IT part is important, but the legal part is important as well. And legal part is probably the one that build the digital trust.
In practical terms, give me 3 things that a company could do next. A lot of listeners here are, small, medium businesses. We talk to lots of customers, potential customers. What are 3 first things we should do?
Know yourself, that means know data you need. Check if you have a real privacy policy and not just a copy-paste page on your website. Think how protect data in your database and use to improve your company.
That's very quick and not easy, but that all makes sense. So taking that second one to make sure we've got an actual privacy policy, we need to go to someone like you, I guess. We need to go to a data protection lawyer. We need to go to someone who really knows what they're talking about.
Yes, if I have broken shoes, I do not repair by myself.
Yeah.
I still need the plumber. And I like to be the lawyer they call me in advance and to say, imagine your company is a car. You want to drive your car safe until the end. Do you take care by yourself or you ask a mechanic first?
I'm definitely going to go to the mechanic.
So I'm the mechanic, make the car of your company arrives at the end safe. And in case, as I hope to know my work is enough, in case of any problems, I will not leave you with a broken car stopped months or years waiting for repair. But I like to consider myself like a pit stop in Formula Uno. When
lovely.
you arrive, half a second, everything, and you can keep drive your company. That's why you need specialized lawyers according your activity and your car.
So what do you do when people come to you? What are the first practical steps that you take as their lawyer, as their IP lawyer, data protection lawyer?
I ask what data they need. I try to understand their activity. I cannot make basically. Hotel is very different than a company dealing in health system. If you make lab analysis for health, you have something totally different than hotel or airlines. So know your company. Tell me who you are, how you work, what data you need, and mostly what data you do not need. So if you do not need, why to have it? Don't tell me just in case. You do not need it.
So is that one way a company can sort of discharge its obligations is by just saying this is what we do need and this is what we don't need to its users and its customers?
Yes, first do it, then declare on your website and keep informed. Because if something wrong happens, the legal system of GDPR is not the same for high speed. High speed is that's a photograph of you driving 100 miles for hour. GDPR, agencies say, they told me you violated the GDPR. Show me you didn't. So it works just the opposite.
Right.
So the company must be in the position, what if a client writes a complaint against me? What kind of complaint can I receive? What an angry client can compel about my using of data? So, and companies, they say, but how can I know in advance? It's a risk. Think about how you work. Think about this. Let us work on this customized privacy policy, and we will do it and we'll make you be totally 100% legal. That's what we can do. Start with know yourself. Maybe you can discover who really you are, the data you need, and maybe that you are doing something totally wrong or useless for yourself. Many times I see companies, I see documents, files, and say, why do you have this? I don't know, we just have. No, you don't need. Why to be full of useless elements, full of useless tools or datas?
Understood. Yeah, I mean, so it's a minefield, but also I guess you need to go to a professional to make sure that you've got it. So is a privacy policy enough, or do you need more than that?
I make privacy policy for clients, for employees, for suppliers, because we need different data. I make letters to appoint the staff to use properly data. I make instruction papers. I have a retainer policy because after 10 years it's pointless you keep your data. I have a full privacy policy to make companies aware, wherein I enclose, even when necessary, some gender clauses to protection, non-disclosure even after when you finish work with the company. How many people say, hey, I used to work for Bill, now I've opened my company, I write to all clients of Bill. Clients can go mad, I gave my data to Bill. Why your junior now open his own company as his telephone me? First of all is lack of respect of duties in front of Bill, but it's violation of data. I gave it to you, not to your staff. That's part that the companies do not understand often.
So they really need to make their staff aware as well. Their staff need to be really trained.
Sign documents, sign agreements, sign contracts that they accept to do not use data unless they are authorized and under this company.
Well, okay, well, that's good practical advice. I guess the first thing that a company should do outside of Europe to ensure they're complying with GDPR is to get in touch with you. So how can they get in touch with you, Gianni?
Thank you. You can mail me. My mail is info@dell'aiuto.com, but I have a website and I'm on LinkedIn with my name. So if you want to contact me, I can give you basic information. On my LinkedIn profile, there are articles and posts, even in English eventually, for the most important risk of not compliant to privacy and to GDPR as well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Gianni Dell'Aiuto. It's been really eye-opening, a little bit scary. I'm hoping that there's hope for us all in the future that our data doesn't just get used without our consent, and that we all, I guess, do understand what our own responsibilities are. So thank you for helping us to open our eyes to this.
I thank you for these opportunities and greetings to everybody.
So for our audience, thank you to Mr. Gianni for joining us today. If it made you think how you handle your data, or your data, as you may say, or how your data might be handled by somebody else, or if you're one of those people like me who sometimes clicks agree or yes without reading, share this episode and Gianni's contact details with someone who needs to hear it. As always, you'll find more insights, past episodes and legal resources at muhami.ee or by connecting with me at CJA Consulting. For now, I'm Chris Adams. Stay informed, stay empowered, and protect yourself. Thank you for joining us on Muhami Matters. If you found today's episode valuable, subscribe and connect with me to stay updated. Join me again soon as we continue to bring you credible insights, practical strategies, and trusted advice to empower your professional journey. I'm Chris Adams. Until next time, stay informed and stay empowered.